By the way, there is a Supreme Court of Wisconsin election today that we should talk about. It's not called, is it? No way it's called already. If you want a little context, this is the election that Elon Musk has been spending absurd amount of money on. I think it's like a $100 million race for one Supreme Court seat in one small state. It's never been done before. That's the most that's ever been spent for a Supreme Court seat. And he wanted Brad Schimmel here to win. Are you telling me it's called and Susan Crawford won already? I feel like the election just started. Where is this confirmed? I feel like I'm not seeing, like I just see parts that aren't even, unless it's winning by so much. 60% of the vote. I mean, okay, well, that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's actually, this is actually pretty incredible news. First of all, as like a referendum on Elon Musk constantly throwing $1 million checks at politics. And two, because I believe Susan Crawford got some of the highest level of like individual donor donations that have ever been received in a Supreme Court race because of people pushing back against Elon Musk. And because the way this election was run was like the campaign they did was like the people versus Musk. And people came out and turned out in great force. But I don't want to call this if it's not over. Oh, this is a good sign. She's running well ahead of Kamala Harris's showing last November. And I just want to say this is sort of what I've been saying, man. I think people are, rightfully responding to what they're seeing and to not getting what they thought they were promised. Polymarket says it's over. That is a big indicator. Let's confirm. Polymarket has it at 100. Oh, wow. Hey, that's awesome. That's just straight up good news. That's very cool. There's a lot of money that Elon Musk spent on this election, like a lot, and he didn't win it. And they wanted to flip it. So the Wisconsin Supreme Court is, I believe, 3-2 Democratic. And it's important because this, the Senate seat in Wisconsin is going to be really important in 2 years. And so I think it could be nefarious or otherwise, but they really wanted control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court for any challenges. This is like pretty much a blowout then. This is a 45-minute. I mean, that's a good sign. That's really cool. Why do the states elect their judges? Seems like a great way to have more money influence politics. No matter how you slice it, you have to like make serious rules about money in politics. Otherwise, you're just putting it one layer up, right? Judges aren't elected, but they're appointed. Then the money goes to the person that appoints them. Wherever you draw the line, the money just goes there and then flows down. So you have to actually make rules about it. We have to we had to do things that actually stop money in politics and have them be equally and widely enforced. But anyway, even in response to a huge amount of money being thrown in this election, I think I should do a whole clip on this study because it was fascinating, but I haven't prepared anything, so I'm not going to do it today. But the general idea is that in today's climate, people are making political choices and action based entirely on the people they dislike. So like Elon pushing for this may have, in fact, gotten more supporters than ever against him. Like he might actually have, despite throwing money at it, actually hurt the cause that he wanted. So this is funny. Like in this environment, the worst thing you can do is be an easy scapegoat. Trump is going to force Elon to go down. Well, that's the thing. So this actually has political implication, which is that Elon Musk is setting up for the next 2 years to donate a lot of money to a lot of races. But this is a bet. Like if you're someone who's like about to go all in on the Elon train to help run your campaign, let's say you're a Republican House representative or something, this is actually kind of spooky for you because it may have backfired. And this didn't work. Like he put a lot of money into this and it's a blowout. So there's a very real shot that like people will want to either take his money but deeply downplay his involvement or avoid him coming to their state and like talking about them all together because it can hurt their chances. And again, worth being said, one of the big things that has given Elon so much power is the deep, deep fear among especially House representatives. We have to understand about the House versus the Senate in America is that the House, the terms aren't very long and they need money all the time. In the way that American politics work, you always need money to run a campaign. You're always campaigning. So you always need money. So if Elon says, you're out of the club, I'm donating to your primary opponent, you're fucked. Your career is over. Like that's everything. You can't lose that. So they're deeply afraid of him. But if stuff like this happens, it like reduces his it reduces his fear, the fear that he can command. And then if Republicans start like not giving him support or like cast him aside, that could be a big shift for change. I did not think it would be such a blowout if these percentages hold. I really thought it would be razor close. You could literally get $20 just for posting a picture of yourself, thumbs up Schimmel, and you can get like $1,000 something else, and you can get $1 million if you voted and showed up to the rallies. I don't know. That's just good to see. That's cool. At least in this one instance, Mr. Musk's seemingly endless reserves of political cash had energized more Democrats than Republicans. Bro, that's what I'm saying. I truly believe that. I actually think like him tweeting and posting and talking about this constantly, maybe people go, hey, f you. There's so many people that would never give one shit about a Supreme Court election in Wisconsin who then deeply cared about it. They like rallied about it. They came out. That's just funny. What's your prediction for the first year a content creator runs for president? Pre-2050? Runs for president? Dude, it's tough to say because like it's converging. Politicians are becoming content creators at the same rate that content creators are getting into politics. Like, you know, AOC's active on TikTok, bro. It's like many younger politicians are doing it all the time. They're creating content. They're doing more podcasts. Gavin Newsom's a podcaster now. If you think someone who's a content creator first becoming president, I don't know when that'll be. President is such a specific role, but as a politician, it's happening already. I think there's a couple races where content creators are already running. Wasn't there like that young, she's like a 26-year-old woman. She's running to replace like a 92-year-old Cat. Yeah, Cat. She's like a content creator. Mr. Beast will be my president when I vote for him. God willing. God, Mr. Beast would be such a great president for all. Double your social security challenge? No, we put all the social security in a pile and the last old person to keep their hand on it gets to keep it. It would be fucking sick. New fireside chat on TikTok Live. But you're saying like a joke. That's not even that crazy. I mean, I think doing it on TikTok Live is kind of crazy given that it's a Chinese-owned, but you know, fireside chats was a response to people using radio. It was like using technology at the time. Politicians using social media is not crazy. It's not bad. They kind of have to if they want to get their message out. I think they should get better at speaking to people the way they consume information and getting their points across. I think the Rizzler should say 5 big booms as we bomb Yemen. Sorry. I don't want to make a leap, but I think that should happen. You know what was interesting? It was this FT opinion article by Gideon Rockman talking about lessons from Russia, Turkey, and India about fighting for democracy in a country that may possibly be backsliding. And one of the things he said that I thought was wise was here at the bottom where he says, listen, charismatic leadership is a non-negotiable. And I agree, dude. If you look at all these countries, the only time they get any momentum against it is when you have an actual charismatic leader. It's not like an option. You can't be like, oh, well, this person maybe is safer, but you have to. And I think that's really powerful and true. And I never heard it expressed so succinctly. I think saying non-negotiable just makes it so clear that it is clear. I think this is true in business as well. Very few non-charismatic leaders can draw the investors. Wait, let me pull this up. This is an interesting question and it makes me have another thought. There's another thought that I don't know where I heard, but I do agree with it as well. Money is not the currency of politics right now. I know it sounds crazy. It's not the number one currency. The number one currency right now is attention. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think today's election result kind of proves that too. The number one currency is attention. Attention is the most powerful. It's like the hardest, it's the scarcest resource because we're all so fucking fry-brained and there's so many things grabbing our attention that anyone who can cut through the noise or grab attention has more power than money can buy. It reminds me of like when Bloomberg ran for president. He had a ton of money, but nobody gave a shit. But like there was a time where that role was flipped, where money was the number one thing because you could buy like access, you could buy news, you could buy coverage, but it's switched. Attention is the most important thing. And so it's not just true in politics, it's true, as you say, in business, where like, I think Elon exploited this for a long time. Elon and Tesla didn't have to spend like a fucking dime on advertising because he was the advertising. His ability to cut through the noise and make a brand image and be Tony Stark gave them infinite value. And now he's the opposite. Yeah, well, he still cuts through the noise, but in a more negative way now. If anything, he's still powerful just as a contra. You have to read about Alex Karp and how he changes public views once Palantir started mooning. Yeah, I think more CEOs are leaning into this. I think more CEOs are realizing that they almost have to like try to get out there on these podcasts or like be more of a public figure. Without that ability to command attention, they've lost real power compared to their competition. Now, I don't think any of them are doing it very well. I think Zuckerberg was on Colin and Samir, and it was the most embarrassing, cringy thing. Dude, they had, listen, I'm not knocking these guys. I don't know anything about Colin and Samir, but Colin and Samir had a Mr. Beast / Zuckerberg interview. This got, again, like I'm talking about half the views of a Big A clip. Dude, look at this. But if you watch that, I watched the first third. It feels so PR. It's so cringe. But they're trying because it's important. You could say Jensen Huang has probably done a good job of like his public appearances have gone well. He's built a profile. He has some name recognition. He's headlined major events. You could say on the political space, people aren't gonna like this, but like Tucker Carlson, after getting ousted from Fox, has built his own platform that has big reach. He has the ability to like command attention in a way that few others have. Timmy Cook. I don't know that Tim Cook is the same way, but I agree that Tim Cook has built a very sterling reputation. Tim Cook is really f***ing good at like doing what's best for Apple. Like he's almost like a cyborg. He's not really, I don't think Cook has a lot of fans.